lifetime medical, but I don't. So at 55, we'll be paying for it. So I don't know if I can.
You can't, 62, you can't
Can't what?
retire then.
Okay, it's meeting come to order. Time is 4:30. Could we please stand for the pledge? Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
It's an emergency, can't stay. Cheers.
Okay, roll call. Materials here. Ms. Prindle, you here?
I'm here.
Okay, so we have 2-0. Public comments. Do we have any public comments?
I do not.
Good. Number 5, reports, updates, announcements. Ms. Prindle, do you have anything to say?
Happy birthday, Marines. Hoorah.
Only thing I'll say is I've got something to say on another item, but for this, it's been a lot of fun doing what I've been doing. I always thought, I learned a long time ago, that the backbone of any unit, when I was in the Air Force, was the enlisted, and the backbone of the USD in any school district is the classified folks, because without them, nothing will ever get done. And so I hope that I did what I was supposed to do and what was expected of me out of this job, and I really appreciate all the support that I got from Ms. Dool and the folks at her office, along with everyone else. So appreciate it, and next week or next meeting, you'll have a great replacement. That's all I have. CSEA updates.
That's me. Okay, so I don't really have a lot. We did a fundraiser at Chipotle. Sorry, I'm already working on the next one. So we did one at Chipotle, and it was 3 times as fruitful as our canes. Luckily, the weather was a little better, but again, it was not a great weather day. So I don't know what it is about us picking dates for fundraisers on bad weather days, but we made $133.49. So between the two, that's about $180. So we were almost at our goal of $200 for this year. We knew coming back from COVID and things that it was going to be kind of tough to get a full $500 scholarship covered, but we almost met the $200 goal, so that's good. I am in the works for upcoming ones. We're looking at the Habit, which I just spoke to them this week, Foster Freeze, and I would like to talk to Los Domingos and maybe do one there. So those are kind of upcoming ones we're looking into. We have our meeting next Thursday. Due to the holidays, we're a week sooner this month. Still getting more nominations for executive board as well as negotiations team, but we do have a good amount, enough to cover each position. So with one position having 2 candidates so far, negotiations team, many options to put out to the members for voting. So we'll be doing that again in November, getting ready for our December end of the year potluck food meeting that we have in December. So that's kind of what we have coming up at the moment. Like to say thank you to you, Larry, because you've always been a great supporter of classified, even though you came from the certificated side and the administration. So we greatly appreciate that. I've had many opportunities to work with you and speak with you, and I appreciate what you said about classified staff, and I'm sure our members appreciate that too. And that's about all I have. We wish you good luck in your next chapter of whatever you decide to step into.
Thanks, appreciate it.
And we'll welcome Mr. G next month at the December meeting and look forward to working with him and having conversations similar, hopefully, to what you and I have had in the past. So
Thank
with that, that's all I've got for tonight. Thank you. Happy holidays.
District updates.
He left.
He had an emergency. He apologizes, but he had an emergency and he had to go.
Director report.
Well, I want to say we have one interview in process. There are 5 recruitments in the testing stage and 3 recruitments are open. We currently have 358 classified employees, of which 162 are the 8-hour full-time, 91 are the benefited part-time, and 105 are the non-benefited. There are 0 individuals in layoff status and another 0 in reduced status. We have, I believe, 2 individuals that are in exhaustion of benefit status. On the other news to note today is the 247th birthday of the United States Marine Corps, Semper Fidelis, hoorah. Tomorrow is Veterans Day, formerly known as Armistice Day, and it signaled the end of World War I with the agreement that hostilities would end on the 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour. And of course, we have November 24th, Thanksgiving Day. So we're coming up on a plethora of breaks and holidays and celebrations and stuff.
I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. So we have upcoming negotiations with the district on the 17th. I'm so sorry. Just want to make sure you guys were aware we are still doing that. Sorry.
Good.
And that's all I have. I did include for future Commissioner G and for Ms. Pringle the flyer on the upcoming conference that will be agendized next month for actual action as far as who goes, how they go, where they stay, who drives, who doesn't, so on and so on. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Item 6, adopting the agenda. Looking for a motion and second to adopt the agenda as published.
A motion that we adopt.
Okay, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Presentation.
So as we all know, former Commissioner Renette Griever, the CSEA, the Employee Association representative on the commission, resigned in August. And what we have here, and I would like to ask Larry and Olga to join me out here. We have a presentation for Renette to show our appreciation and for time on the commission. Thank you.
Don't mind the math.
Don't mind the math. Don't mind the math.
I have to.
And I just want you to know that we appreciated everything over the last almost 3 years for me, over 3 years for you. So I just wanted to get something and have the commission express their appreciation for
Thank
everything
you.
right now.
And I very much enjoyed it, and
That's for you.
but now Olga can enjoy it too. I mean,
Share the wealth.
yeah, share it, and, because we're so glad to have the commission, and you're going to be working with an awesome commission director. So thank you.
Thank you, Raina.
Thank you. Thank you, Olga. It's going to be a little tough to scratch.
Okay.
One thing I'll add to that, I remember my first day, October 10th, 2000, was my first day at Barstow High School. And I remember exactly, Raynette was working in the guidance office. I remember exactly where her desk was, even her desk. It was facing the 4 doors, or 3 doors, or 4 doors. I think it was four doors for a class for the counselors. And you were with your back against the wall there, with the desk in front of you, as I recall. I hope I'm right on that. That's what stuck in my mind.
Well, they rearranged the furniture in the guidance office fairly frequently, it seemed to me, but yes, that's where the area.
I remember. That's where I first met you. And she was an awesome, I learned a lot from Renette. She was the union rep for Barstow High School at the time. So I learned a lot from Renette. And I appreciate that, Renette.
Well, I always appreciated your willingness to listen, because I can still remember meetings in your office over at, I think it was an intermediate school at the time, is that what it was? Yeah. And, you know, just the willingness to discuss things and communicate and not take anything personally, so you were awesome to work with.
Thanks, I appreciate it, Renette. But you were awesome
He
too.
was.
Okay, item number 8, discussion information, nutrition service staffing update briefing.
So I put together a list of stats, and statistics are what they are. They're numbers.
Sure.
I will say that what's not in here is we had 10 individuals go to the board on Tuesday that were approved to be hired, nutrition service worker ones. We have 5 more that are still working on their onboarding that should be on the December board. I know we also, we have a posting right now for 2 vacant nutrition service worker 2s. And as soon as that closes, we're going to schedule the interviews for 4 of the vacant 2s. The lead recruitment closes the 17th next week, so that I'm hoping we can get tested and get an eligibility list, at least hopefully to the commission next month, and maybe interviews before Christmas break. That's
I'm trying.
being I'm being aggressive with that. Don't know if that'll happen, but that's what I'm hoping. So some of the statistics, I've included a lot of the vacancy lists that I've kept forever, and the eligibility list and the testing and stuff, and I've included all of that with these statistics. But since January of 2020, which is when I started, there have been 19 nutrition services recruitments open. That includes 2, 1, 2, 3, anything nutrition services. Since June of 2021, there have been 5 nutrition service worker 1 tests off of recruitment. Since June of 2021, there have been 5 lists, either created and or merged, because we actually had 1 recruitment that was open and continuous, and out of that recruitment, we actually ran 3 different tests at three different times. Since June of 2021, there were 183 applications submitted for nutrition service worker 1s, and of those, 141 were invited to test. Now, we were waiving food handlers or serve safe on all of them. If they passed the test and they made the eligibility list, they were not called for interviews unless they provided that information. So that was waived. But again, there were 141 applicants invited to test. And so overall, 77% of the applicants were screened in. 85 nutrition service worker 1 applicants of those that were invited failed to show for the test. We can lead a horse to water. It's, we invite them, we tell them, and they don't show. 56 nutrition service worker applicants were certified on the eligibility list. Overall, 31% of the applicants for nutrition service worker 1 made it to the eligibility list. If they don't have the serve safe or food handlers certification, when they take the test, they have to get it before we can call them for interview. On average, it's been my observation that approximately 30 to 40% of the candidates that we schedule for interviews are no-shows. So if you add in, only 31% make it to the eligibility list, and then another 30 to 40% no-show. It's dismal. Absolutely dismal. But I will also say that is pretty much indicative of any sector that has entry level, especially in the private sector. In the private sector, though, a lot of entry level workers, if they hire them, they're usually gone and turned around within maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. That's just, go look at McDonald's and Starbucks, and as much as they pay them a little more, they also don't hang on to them. So I know stuff this was as of November 4th when I pulled all of this and called it all together prior to putting the agenda together. I'm sure you guys have questions. more comments.
I'm just thankful that we hired all the people we just recently hired.
Well, hopefully they'll make it 6
Well,
months.
10, we have the 10 that started.
Yep.
So,
There's 5 more that we hope to, we also certified another 4 subs to start working as subs. So,
That's
and
good.
then we're gonna be testing for NSW1 to refresh the list, because I know there's already another 2 vacancies, just since the 15 were interviewed and filled.
well, where we're at now, we have the 2 8-hour 2s because
Right,
Tammy and Maria moved, and then we have a 2 at Fine Arts. So we have 3 2 positions.
there's 4 2s, there's 2 2s vacant now, and there's the other 2, there's 4 2s
Where's the
total.
other 2 at?
I don't remember, it's up on my board.
I don't think,
Fine Arts.
No.
as far as I know, and I'm not calling you a liar.
No, I know,
By
no,
no
there's a
means.
6-hour over at the high school, isn't there?
No. Catherine
Kathy.
Bogart has that job.
Okay, I gotta go back and look at my board, because I
She's
know.
just an acting lead for right now.
Right, and that we hope to have filled, we hope to test and get the list and filled before the first of the year, but
But as of now, we have the 2 8-hours, 1 3.75 at the Fine Arts Kitchen.
yes.
And then we have just those, the lead at high school, and then like those 5 positions that we're waiting for, and we should be full.
Well,
Because we
you've
also,
got 2 NSW1s,
at Montera,
yes.
we got
So-
2 at Montera, 1 at Fine Arts, 1 at high school, and 1 at junior high.
So this recruitment will refresh the list, and hopefully we can pull enough ranks to fill those 5 off the NSW1.
Well, we have that at the ones right now that are supposed to go through in December.
Right, there's 5, but I mean, there's another 2 vacancies at least out there, NSW1s. They're on my board. Thompson?
No, we don't have Thompson. STEM?
Them.
Last name.
No,
No, that's the last one.
Jessica Thompson.
Oh, last
Fine
name.
Arts.
Okay,
Wait a second, I've got my paper, I bought it just in case, so I know.
She's prepared.
Oh, and the director gets onboarded Monday.
Right, she goes to the board on the 13th and starts January 3rd, so we
Right.
were told.
But we're onboarding her Monday.
Okay, you want this, so you can see what I'm talking about?
Sure.
This is where we keep track of hours, so.
I know. But I know there's 4 2s. There's gonna be 4 2s. And they're all
It's just
on my
the different
board.
pages, the different
Type
types.
solutions and getting,
If it's in
getting
orange,
going with that so that by the
orange,
time
that's
Is the
okay.
base.
January 3rd comes,
Well, that's a hell of a lot better than the whole page, anyway.
she can.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, all the incoming
It was just
process.
updated.
Janice said you'll like her.
I thank you for this, Ken.
Janice said
Oh, you're
you'll
welcome.
like her.
Can I keep this?
Yeah, you can,
Okay.
because I have one on my desk that I use to know when somebody calls in.
I see Matthew's here. Is that Matthew?
No, that's Carrie.
Carrie, sorry. Did you have anything to add?
No, I was invited as part of the Union E-Board meeting to
Okay.
give them the award, and I figured instead of just marching out
Cool.
immediately, I'll stay and listen, since
Okay.
we also cover these issues in our E-Board meetings, so I just want to make sure that
But
I
that, oh,
Up
sorry,
to,
Karen.
that you're up to par.
Yeah. just make sure I'm up to date on the information.
That's a lot better. Right there, you can see as to where
Do
we.
you mind if I share it with them?
Oh, no,
Okay. It's the vacancy list for nutrition services.
Okay.
because after Maria sent me all the people that just went to board on the 8th, I updated our sheet there so that we would know.
Yeah, some should have started today, and some start Monday.
Some,
I think some of the subs were scheduled to just go ahead and start since they were already in their positions.
we had some on Wednesday, 1 today,
And then you'll have the rest.
and then we have some on Monday.
Right.
So it's nice to see that maybe things from COVID are, maybe we're getting over that hump of people not wanting to stick.
Well,
So we're hoping, we're hopeful that these will stick through and be here for
I'm
a
hopeful
while.
as well, but unfortunately, I will say, it's tough looking at the statistics, where you've got 31% of the people, are the ones that make the eligibility list. 31% of everyone who applied make it to the eligibility list, and then you still have a 30 or 40% no-show rate to the interviews.
Right, and then when they get
And when
there,
they don't
wanna
show to
work
the
that
interview,
hard.
they come off the list. That's a drop. They can turn down interviews, and that's what I try to reinforce to everybody. If If you get called for an interview in any job, and it's not where you want it to be, it's not the hours, it's, it's not the site, it's not the shift, whatever, you're better off just turning down the interview than deciding at the last, say, yeah, I'll take it, and then not showing because a no-show comes off the list.
That's bad.
Any other questions on this?
No, thank you.
No? You're welcome. Thanks, guys. If you bring it to my attention, I will do what I can.
Hey, we just tried to take care of it and do the best we could, and then we just got too tired.
And I understand that. I
That's the
totally
bottom
understand.
line. And like you noticed, just us today, but at least they came last time and spoke for themselves so everybody could understand where they were coming from.
And I have all those notes because I still have to get the minutes together from this. So,
Is that it?
that's it. I'll
I got a question and a comment. Let's say the three of us were at school X and I don't show today. We don't have a sub here today. Nobody from the district office can cover in my spot. So these two have to do the work. They got to do all the work. They got to do the work, two people doing the work of three. Those two will not get an increase in pay, will they, for that day or not?
No.
Well, if they work more than their normal hours.
I'm not talking hours.
Okay.
Are
There's no
They
additional
can't-
compensation.
How can they work longer hours? Can they just say, well, on their own, they say, well, I'm not able to get it all
Well,
done, so
hopefully-
I'm
You have
gonna
to
work
have,
over
they
45
have to
minutes?
have approval.
They do.
Approval from whom?
The acting director,
Okay,
which would be,
Which is Stanley.
What happens when they're short or on days where these days we were short, they will call and say, like, it was a very busy day, and they'll call and say, we didn't get everything done, we're gonna need 15 more minutes, to finish up, and we're like, okay. Because that's all they need to do is just call. They can't just write time down,
Okay.
because there was a problem when they were doing that.
no, I understand that. I understand that totally. Okay, so they can't get compensated, because that's not fair.
Right.
It's not
Nobody
like,
should
it's
have
not
to work
like
for
another
free.
job where we don't get it done today, we'll get it done tomorrow. No, tomorrow's, you gotta start all over in food service, so you gotta get that all done.
Right, you can't leave the kitchen dirty. You're gonna get rodent.
Absolutely right, yeah. Okay, good enough.
But as far as their hourly rate, that is not increased.
No, you're right, the hourly rate.
There's no
I mean,
compensation.
in my mind is, if you can't get a sub in there for that 3-hour period, for example.
Right.
Then those two people, if they're gonna do that work of three, then they gotta take that 3-hour sub rate, cut it in half, and that one gets it. That's not the way it is, I
No, but
know.
they get differential pay.
Say again?
When they're out of leave, they get different.
No, that's for the that's for
Yeah,
the person
no.
that's
yeah,
missing.
but he's talking about the people, and sometimes it's those three end up being one person doing the job of three.
At breakfast
And there's-
only, not at lunch.
No, I
Yeah, and so
understand
there's
that
no-
too.
yeah, but that- it
Because I
doesn't-
see here, when I looked at your list,
Yeah.
there's two schools, Montera and Fine Arts Academy, that authorized 3, they only have 1.
The fine arts is easy because we're there,
'Cause you're there,
we can
yeah.
go in.
Yeah.
Montera's not so easy because you can't make someone go to another school.
Right,
They have to agree
right,
to go to that school, and they don't always agree that they wanna go.
I understand that.
Both the workers at Skyline were gone today. So they pulled one from the kitchen and I went too to help.
Right,
So you have to do
Okay.
what you gotta do.
Gotta feed the kids, that's what we do.
and, oh, of course, I understand that. Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Any progress, Renee, in trying to increase the wages for the service worker one?
So we're working on, we're waiting for a counter from the district in regards to raise. What we asked for made it competitive at the NSW 1 level, as to what's out there, in the food industry. But we haven't gotten our counter on that. We've proposed, they've countered, we've recountered, now we're waiting for back. But where we were at is competitive to what's out there in the industry.
All right, so
we'll-
there
we'll
is a
see
little bit
what-
of progress.
Yeah, so we'll see what the district comes back with us at. We have our argument points ready.
Mhm.
But yeah, and that'll be on the 17th.
Okay.
So we're hopeful that they're gonna have that proposal back to us and we'll go from there.
Yes,
Good to
How
know.
does the state, because I manage the senior center thrift stores, in state law, January 1st, minimum wage is going to go up 5% from $16 to $16.50.
Well,
How does that impact
15,
your-
we're at 15 right now. So we're at 15.90 for our NSW ones right now. Jan 1, it goes up to 15.50. So we're still already above what the rate is. But we know what the minimum that the raise will go. We are going to get a raise, so at minimum we're still going to be above that. But we're trying to go further than that to be more competitive to be more even with the industry. But it's difficult, to get up to that level. We have to negotiate and we have to give good sticking points for the district to agree with us that that's where we need to be. So, but yeah.
good.
We're hopeful.
So so the district does take into account the fact,
They have to
I
because
mean, yeah.
they have to because that's the law. But because we'll already be above it, like I said, it's going to 15.50 and we're at 15.90. So technically, legally, they're already above what the minimum wage is gonna be. And we already know that based off the negotiations we've already had, that we'll be higher than that. We just are looking to be more competitive with the industry and we'll have to see what the district wants to agree to.
Sure.
But we're trying to stay at that minimum competitive level.
Of course, makes total sense, especially with the lack of hours and all the other stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, anything else on nutrition service? Okay, good. Item 9, consent list. It's recommended that the Personnel Commission consider approving a number of agenda items as consent list. Routine in nature, can be enacted in one motion. So I'm looking for a motion and a second for 9 alpha, approve the corrected copy minutes of August 11, 2022, ratify the Director of Nutrition Service eligibility list, and ratify the Nutrition Service Worker 3 eligibility list.
A motion?
Okay, I second it. Any discussion on any of it? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pass 2-0. Item 10, conference action item. Looking for a motion and a second to approve the second reading of the 2021-2022 Personnel Commission Annual Report Draft. Looking for a motion.
A motion?
Okay, I second it. Any discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's 2-0. Okay, so we will adjourn the open session so we can go to a closed session. And we'll do this at, looks about 58 past the hour. Thanks.
If you could.
I'll meet you.
Oh.